Never thought the day would come, but we're here. I'm Mark Kessler, President and COO of Kessler Collection Design and Development.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Kessler Van Til, President and COO of Kessler Collection Management. Against the historic river will flow a new storyline, adding new to old and old to new, providing 2 themed boutique hotels, 13 high-quality restaurants, live entertainment, and outdoor parks.
And as far as I know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest private investment in downtown Savannah that we have ever seen. So on behalf of the state of Georgia, I want to thank Richard Kessler for his vision, his determination, his patience, and his resilience throughout these challenging years as we've worked to get here to this day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a great day to be in Savannah, isn't it? We ordered this weather. I think the most important thing we need to recognize is the Kessler name and where it came from. These are local people doing great things in a local community. But I wanted to go back to my dad worked here. My dad was with the Savannah Electric and Power Company. But Mr. Alton Brown was the one that run this plant, and he was the one that closed it down. He goes to my church, and he's been keeping up with this. And he's a fine man with a fine family. And that's what Savannah is about, is who you know and how they act. And your name carries a lot of weight, either good or bad. So I'm glad to be a part of the Kessler name.
Thank you. It's really great to be in Savannah and sit and look at this building and imagine what is to come. I was looking at this building and listening to these great speakers and sort of thinking about the history of the hotel business. Marriott will celebrate 90 years next year, so we're getting going. We feel like we're figuring things out a little bit. You think about what this building will become in the next 24 or 5 months. What is it? Are you hedging a little bit?
25 months.
25 months. It will be extraordinary, and we know that, Richard, from what you've already created. We're proud to have a number of your hotels affiliated with us, and when we see the sense of design and the artwork and the personality that you bring to these great creations, we know that what will come here will be extraordinary.
Immediately, we were captivated by the project. I think you can't help but become somewhat captivated by it. Just again, the quality of it, the vision, the location. It immediately jumped out at us as being extraordinary. I will tell you, there were at least 3 times, though, I told Richard, this is not financeable. Not going to happen. Too tough. One factor, I won't go into the details, but we gave him the honest opinion. It's not financeable unless you do A, B, and C. Well, the scary thing is Richard listens very closely. Next thing you know, he's gone out and he's obtained A, B, and C. Step 1 was to go to see Arnie at Marriott, by the way, and make sure we got a world-class brand on this project, as well as their financial support, which, again, has come to pass. So Richard is tremendously persistent and resourceful, and he really made this happen.
You built this vision, you and your team built this vision, but everybody in this area, and frankly, the list is even longer for some that aren't here. Everybody deserves a big pat on the back, and when this is built, we're gonna have a big celebration. Enjoy it. Thank you very much.
When Richard Kessler brought the mansion on Forsyth Park to us in 2005, the boutique-style hotel boom that was beginning to happen in the finest cities all around the world was now being established here in Savannah. Then in 2009, when the Bohemian Hotel came online, that trend continued and was really the beginning of the transformation of the River Street scene and experience. Today's announcement clearly puts an exclamation point on that transformation. When we shared the news about this hotel with convention and meeting planners in Washington, D.C. recently, they were very interested to know what the timeline was and when they could start booking it. Even talking with the representatives from Marriott's global sales force, they are already getting inquiries about this hotel and booking Savannah for future conventions and trade shows.
His brilliance surrounds us. Don't let your head get too big here, but your brilliance surrounds us. Whether it's one-of-a-kind pieces of art or sculpture or religious resources, I can say proudly Richard Kessler has touched people in more ways than anyone can imagine. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, Richard loves Savannah. Richard has contributed his time, his money, and his passion to Savannah. Now to introduce the man who inspires us every day, Richard Kessler.
Well, when your children do that, I hope it's not a eulogy. Oh, it has been 4 years since we started this. I signed the contract to buy this November the 2nd in 2012. So it has been quite a road. Well, what was the vision? The vision from the very beginning was to build an iconic entertainment complex that promotes and celebrates quality of life through its architecture and its programs for citizens and for our visitors. That's our stated objective, and that's our stated goal. This complex, when it is finished, it will be 5 large buildings. This is one of the 5 buildings. There'll be 3 pavilions right here on the water, watching ships like you're gonna see here in a minute, and tugboats come by as you shell oysters, shuck oysters, and peel shrimp, and wear your flip-flops and your shorts here in the summertime, having your margaritas and whatever. So the 1,100-foot extension of the Riverwalk, which begins back to my right, all the way to the front, and in, all right. Was that planned? 1,100 feet of Riverwalk extension. We are under construction with it. It'll take us about a year to complete it. There'll be, in addition to the 5 big buildings, 3 pavilions, a riverfront, 6 kiosks. We'll have a Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park that will handle about 700 people. Also, we'll have a huge stage right on the river, which we're really excited about that. We'll have live entertainment there many, many days a year. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? That's what people come to see. And all of this will be anchored by this wonderful Marriott, JW Marriott Hotel that we're very excited about. 419 rooms. It will be in 5 different buildings, 3 different themes, an aquatic theme, obviously being on the river, being on the coast. In this building, we're going to do a natural science museum theme to this building. We've got some exciting things coming. And yes, we'll have a 137-foot dinosaur skeleton in the generator hall. Savannah's been very, very good to me. So the way I look at it, Plant Riverside is my gift back to our city of Savannah. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right, y'all look like you're digging some sand, and then we'll do a real one. Look at the camera, please, right over here.
Everybody right here, actually, when you're done. Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
More, hold it. Got it.
Mr. Kessler, you want to say something fabulous, and everybody can take a little dirt.
America first.
Tonight is a wonderful night. Today was a wonderful day. We're excited about the project and looking forward to many years with Richard. Isn't it a great party? I mean, I walked in the front door and I can't hardly get in. There's so many people here. It's a great event. It's typical of Richard.
Congratulations, Richard. We're amazingly proud of you. And what you're building here is going to be beautiful. And thanks for having us be part of it.
The first thing we have tonight, we have two things I think you would enjoy that I really wanted to let you have the exposure to, and that is the hunt process of how do we build this thing. I mean, we talked about the concept, we got all that clear, we know what we're going to do, but we got to do it.
The West Garage tops out in May, we're leaving us 6 months to finish the project after the West Garage is topped out. And that's our little tool to help educate any of the stakeholders that care. What's it going to look like at this point in time? You know, how are we doing against the schedule? We can say, well, here's where we're supposed to be, and you can always check back and benchmark to your schedule. And this has also been a great tool for educating the bidding community, the subcontractors. How many men do I need? Well, you're going to have to keep up with this, so figure your bid accordingly. So this was an educational tool, you know, from the get-go. We've kept refining it. When we update our schedule, it ties to this, and we tweak it, manage it, and that's how we're going to build it in 10 minutes. Sorry.
Thank you, Bill. I can't tell you how many engineers had worked on this project to get to that point. Many, many. Specialists out of Washington, D.C. that did work around water all over the world. We had local engineers. We had regional engineers. Tremendous amount of engineering went into all of this. But you can also see why I chose Bill to head up this project for us. He really gets it, and he has the ability to manage this process.
So we embark on this story. It's a story born of Savannah. And the message in this story is as much about the past as it is about the future. So with that, I'll take you to the corner of the National Historic Landmark District as we set out to study the site of Plant Riverside. And we realize this is much more than the redevelopment of a power plant. It really is a district plan, the Plant Riverside District, and encompasses 4 city blocks on the waterfront. That 1,200 feet that we took in earlier today is really the cornerstone of a nationally significant historic urban plan. And so I think we took that to heart as we began this process years ago now, and realized this is an industrial site that is unmatched in the city, but it's also connected to the city in very integral ways.
I'll never forget Stratton. I was sitting in one of the meetings one day. We're doing presentations to the council or one of the historic meetings, and he was sitting next to me, and I really didn't know Stratton that well. At the end of it, after we made all the presentation, he leaned over and said, "Richard, I want to be a part of this." So Stratton, you are. So
well, thank you, Richard.
Sure. Tell us about dessert.
Well, thank you especially for your vision, and we're sitting at an example of your vision right here at the mansion. Thank you. We've been fortunate enough to have a special flavor here at the mansion for, 8 or 9 years now, I guess it's been. So when Richard called and said, let's do something for Plant Riverside, I said, okay, what could it be? Think about a mocha base. Think about it's going to have some chocolate, some fudge in it. It's going to have some espresso beans in it and Grand Marnier in it as well. Thank you, Richard. We've enjoyed the partnership so much and look forward to it again a lot more. Thank you.
ladies, if that doesn't put you men in romance for tonight, I can't help you. Brian, thank you. Fabulous. What a musician. This hopefully gives you some context of what the power plant and Plant Riverside is going to be, and the JW Hotel, and all the experiences that will come in the Plant Riverside district. So thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate you. May God bless you and protect you as you travel back to your homes. Thank you and good night.